You're on the rant couch where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's for Aldorn, who says, Alright, new paradigm for requesting rants. Guess I'll just repost my comment. Rant about the commonalities between pieces of furry art that prevent you from enjoying them. That is to say, when you have been asked why you aren't into furry porn, I remember you saying that you hated the art style despite different artists drawing things in different ways. I think you said there were still commonalities between them that you didn't like. What exactly did you mean? Can you give any examples? So, to answer this question, I decided to go on Fur Affinity and just look at the stuff that's on the front page. Because when I talk about furry art, I have a very clear image in my mind of what I am what always comes to mind when I think furry art. And in fairness, a lot of what's coming out now, especially looking at this page, is definitely moving in a different direction where there seems to be a lot more anime influence going into it, a lot more just like digital effects, overall cleanliness in designs, and like better color choice. Because like a lot of the older furry art that I've seen, it's really like the colors are often just garish. We've got much more aesthetic color work going on Fur Affinity, at least on the front page, than what I'm used to seeing from furry art. And it could just be because of the fact that, there's such a strong tie between furries and autism, as well as just generally more people who aren't necessarily great at drawing deciding to do it anyways because they feel so passionately about the niche they belong to, that it could be that those things lead to more just shitty, janky, furry art existing proportionally or something. But like when I'm looking at all this stuff on the page, what strikes me the most is, I mean, first of all, there's a gradient of how furry something is, right? Like, all right, we're going to have to turn the camera around and we're going to have to look at some stuff. So this image right here, this I would describe as barely, if at all, furry. What we have is basically a cute anime girl with wings and a tail, and like she's got like a little bit of like a bunny nose, I guess. But for the most part, she's just like an anime girl with wings and shit, right? So that's hot. I'm into that. Not really a furry. I wouldn't really call that furry art. Now this, on the other hand, this is the body of a woman with the face of an animal. And this is not attractive to me. So is it just crossing a certain threshold of face shape? Maybe that's a huge element of it. But there's also this sort of tooniness to a lot of furry art, where, and this is, I guess, what we're getting away from a little bit as anime becomes a bigger influence on it, and a lot of the stuff is very, like, Tumblr-esque as well, so there's that influence. But, like, when I think of traditional furry art, it's born from toons. Like, it goes back to the origin of toon characters like a Bugs Bunny, or something like that, which are not, you don't necessarily think of those as furry characters, but, like, it's toons mixed with sexuality. That's how I think of furry. It's like a sexualized version of a toon. And toons are inherently unattractive to me because they're goofy looking. Like, they're there to look goofy and silly and stupid and to be comedic characters, And combining that with sexuality always is funnier to me than it is attractive. It's like when I see a sexy picture of a toon, it feels like a joke. It feels like it's meant to be funny and not necessarily attractive. And so when I look at the Fur Affinity stuff, it's like there's some shit that clearly has taken that and made it more in the realm of sexy, where it's like it's less of a toon, it's more of a sexualized character. Here's a good middle ground for you. And this is not even really a sexy picture, it's just kind of a furry character. But like, if you look at the expression on this character, it might be something you'd expect from like Looney Tunes, like baby Looney Tunes or something, right? It's like It's an expression that has a lot of personality, a very Toon-like expression. And the character is like a barely humanized dog. You know, it's like a dog on two legs. Very cartoony, granted. But, like, that character is human like in that they have a facial expression only a human would make. You know, they're in a situation a human would be in. They are clearly, like, more humanoid mentally. But physically, they are a toon, you know? And the thought of finding a toon sexually attractive doesn't work for me. An anime girl who happens to have animal parts is one thing. And even then, you know, there's anime furries. There's like anime girls who have like a fully, like a full cat face or something like that. And I usually do end up finding that more attractive than a toon version of the same, like a Western cartoon drawing with tits, you know? Just because the anime version is clearly putting the idea of it being a sexy girl first and the idea of it being like an animal character second. So, I don't know, maybe that's it. I mean, it's hard for me to describe because it's one of those things where, you know, I don't have like an intellectual understanding of why furry art repulses me. It's more like I see it and I just go, ugh. And then I keep thinking that over and over again, the more of it I see, and I go, oh, it must just be all of it. Like, it must just be something about what is appealing in this to other people that doesn't appeal to me, you know? And it's again, it's like a thin line. I mean, there's plenty of basically furry stuff that I have enjoyed, but usually just because it has more realistic, sexy, feminine qualities to it. You know, like if you draw a hot girl and then give her like a little bit extra bit of fur, it's not going to distract me from the fact that it's a hot girl. But if you draw a toon and then you stick tits on it, then I'm going to go, ooh, not good. You know. So I guess that's kind of the distinction. Anyway,